What if I told you that you weren't going home today? You've been living your life, you crushed your work deadlines this week, you have plans with your friends tomorrow night, and you wouldn't even imagine missing your weekly Sunday family dinner that's been a staple for 8 years. Suddenly, you don't even know if you'll be alive on Sunday. Out of nowhere, your dignity is being stripped just as quickly as the clothes are coming off your back to wear nothing but this ugly gown that you know has been worn by hundreds, if not thousands, of other people. You woke up today, you drank your coffee, you kissed your family or your pets goodbye and told them you'd be back after work, and suddenly you're now in what feels like solitary confinement. You're all but naked in front of what seems like 24 strangers. You don't have a cell phone charger, and you've been fasting since breakfast to make room for that burger you were going to eat before you went home tonight. Not today. You're a prisoner now, doing 24 hours to life, and you haven't done anything wrong. But something is wrong with you, and the only way to fix it is to put you in this cell by yourself, where you can do nothing but sit and think about the rest of your life. If you're lucky, you will be able to shower alone. You're told what and when to eat, and don't even think about sleeping because you must wake up every 2 hours and be poked and prodded by even more strangers. What day is it? How many needles have they plunged into your arm? What's in this IV? Have you pooped yet? That must be monitored, so don't forget to call your nurse when you do. When do you get to go home? Is that even an option? Are you going to die in here? This is how some people are forced to live for the rest of their lives, and this is the environment we put them in to heal. Don't most people go crazy without sleep? Remember being a kid and only wanting your mommy when you were sick? They kick her out at 7 p.m. here because feeling love and connection and security and maybe, just maybe focusing on something else besides whatever brought you here might somehow be harmful. Don't get too comfortable though after Mom leaves because we need to take your vitals. There are over 500 different sounds that can be heard in an average hospital room, and that never stops. Not for lunch and not at 3 a.m. Don't get too comfortable, but please get well soon. Every hour there are countless knocks on your door, and you can never say, "No thank you." Doctors, nurses, the damn person that takes your blood seemingly 54 times a day, or your daily dose of toast and cold coffee. You're so excited when the person who cleans your bathroom arrives because you know they don't want anything from you. What if every day you knew one of those knocks was from someone who wanted nothing from you, but wanted to provide you with an opportunity to feel more like a human being? Imagine if every day someone was able to interrupt the pattern and gasp, you actually had something to look forward to. Something that could bring a smile to you, your loved ones, and even your care team that you realize have just been human beings all along too. Would you rather this room you're unable to escape resemble a test lab or a music venue? Maybe it looks like an art gallery full of custom art made just for you. Engaging in the arts can do so many positive things. Some of the long-lasting effects of having access to a creative outlet while in the hospital are seen by fewer call button pushes, less pain and requests for pain medication, improvement in overall attitude, a feeling of connection with healthcare staff, and as we've all heard, laughter is the best medicine. Imagine the hospital experience if you knew all of this joy was waiting for you. If you'd like to make sure more moments like that happen in 2024 and beyond, please go to givebutter.com/dayofjoy or heartsoftheart.org and donate today. We've been having fun all day with members of Hearts Need Art and our partners at Task Us who have come by to do all kinds of stuff with us. Today, so one of the cool things that we do in the hospital is we created this activity book for bored adults. And we give it to all the patients, and it has all kinds of, oops, wrong button. It has all kinds of fun stuff in it. And from coloring pages that we've designed to writing prompts to music things, gratitudes, journals, And today, with some friends from Tascos, we're going to make personalized playlists. So I'm going to bring up Vanessa and Rhonda. Hello, hello.
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 Can you each introduce yourselves to everybody and the people that you brought with you?
Yeah, I'm happy to go first. My name is Vanessa Patel, and I have here with me
Sanaya.
my daughter, Sanaya. She's 8. I'm from the Tascus legal team and so excited to be here today.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And Rhonda's back. Everyone's favorite today, Rhonda.
I'm Rhonda George. I am the Senior Director for People Strategy, and I have the pleasure of really working on DEI and CSR and transformation space. And I love legal, and I report into them. So thank you so much for having us be a part of this journey and just to continue to support each other and really help people have a much easier time while they are in the hospital.
Yes, thank you for all of your help today. So this is pretty cool. I don't know if either of you have ever done this before, but everybody can participate. I'm going to make this larger so maybe you can see it. It's pretty easy. You can do it on your phone or a piece of paper. And you really start by writing down what you feel right now at the top of the list. And usually, obviously, when we're in the hospital, the feelings at the moment might be pretty negative. So keep that in mind. If you're not feeling negative, don't write that down. But this is really a great way to shift your mood if you're not in a great mood, or maybe you're in a good mood, but you're getting ready for something and you need your energy to be even higher. This is a great way to do it. A lot of people think that in order to have health benefits of the arts that they need to paint or they need to do something, but ingesting the arts is also very important. Going to a museum and looking at art. And, when your alarm goes off in the morning, a lot of people have a certain song that they have ready to go off to get them in that good mood. And that's kind of what this is. So does everybody have the song that expresses how you're feeling right now?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, cool. So that's song number 1. Number 2 is think of a song that expresses how you want to feel. And that song is going to be song number 3. So let me know when you have song number 3. I feel like I can't see you. Do we have song number 3 written? Or are we still thinking?
We have one.
Okay. Rhonda?
Yep. Got it. We got it.
All right. So now look at the 2 songs and think of a song that could be a bridge between song number 1 and 3. And that would be song number 2. It's kind of like you're going up a set of stairs.
I think I got it.
It's like every song you've ever listened to that you think is good is now spinning through your head, right?
I know.
I know.
Rhonda's still contemplating. I should have had like Jeopardy music.
I got it.
Okay. So who wants to kind of share their entire story and list? Anybody?
Do you want to go first, or I can go
Sure.
first? Whatever you prefer.
Yeah, please.
So I normally am a very positive person. So can you not tell? So I kind of always generate or resonate with music. So whenever I'm having a bad day or a bad moment, I kind of always lean on music to kind of shake it up or just kind of elevate my, my current state of mind and just remind me it's the reality that we can control, right?
Yeah.
So my first kind of song that I kind of resonate all the time is always Can't Stop That Feeling by Justin Timberlake. Like you just cannot, you got to tap your feet, you got to move. It's the moment. I just think that kind of slice of life, because things happen around you, but still it's just about being expressive together. And then I really kind of resonate with, then a simpler song that kind of mellows out about kind of, and I think it's Katrina and the Waves. I had to go Google it for a minute, but I want to say it's Walking on Sunshine, that simplicity about kind of just being present and just kind of, what does that kind of resonate? And then to bring it all home, I just love you too. I just can't say enough about it. I'm So Beautiful Day, where it's just kind of got that whole concept, but just kind of the balance and the tone and how the lyrics are in there kind of resonate.
I love that. And the way you explained like how your mood changes with each of those and what they bring to your day. I love that. That sounds like a fun day to me from beginning to end.
I'll share my playlist with you.
Thank you. Add me to your Spotify playlist.
I will.
Vanessa.
Yeah, so we have two playlists. One is a Swiftie playlist. You want me to start with mine?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do mine first, which is a non-Taylor Swift playlist. And I started off with Rolling in the Deep, an Adele song, just because I think it's like a good one to kind of set the mood. I mean, it's not like super happy. It's not super somber. It's kind of like a little bit in the middle, but it has a lot of just emotion to the song. Yeah. And then the second song was Yesterday by the Beatles, to just kind of be a transition to like, that's in the past and hopefully now we're going to be moving forward. And then the third song is Happy by Pharrell, just because I thought that would be like a good upbeat, like, setting the tone for like the next stage and the next phase of what's to come. So that was my my playlist. And then my girls, I added one more child. They have a Taylor Swift playlist that they started with Shake It Off.
No, I wanted to.
Okay, you want to say the second?
Okay.
Do you want to say the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's this. I will reveal
Back
the
to you.
Song. It is You Belong With Me, which they thought would be a very good bridge to Love Story, which is their third song.
Wow.
And all, the good, happy Taylor Swift songs. Okay, and we have an honorable mention for Look What You Made Me Do.
Yes.
Which is another song that maybe we could throw in, and we could probably come up with another playlist if you'd like us to.
Shake It Off.
Yes. A little remix, maybe.
Yeah, we could do like a remix of songs.
That sounds like a fun party to me. Yeah, you can do this with any mood, good, bad, any mood that you're in. This is a great kind of activity to elevate that and to really think about why you're listening to the songs you are too. I think that's always fun. Well, thank you both for jumping on and playing with us. Our book, the activity book for bored adults, is not available to the public yet, but hopefully soon you'll be able to find it and not be bored anymore. So we're about to premiere our 100th episode of our podcast, Arts for the Health of It. It'll be available on its own tomorrow on YouTube and all of the podcast locations, but you can watch it right now, my interview with Josh and Cassie. So thank you both for jumping on. Bye, guys. Bye, kids.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
All right.
Along with me, and I know you'll see that a song changes everything.
Well, hi, everyone. So a couple weeks ago, I got an email, the subject of documentary. And so I open it and I find out that there's a documentary that's going to be made about one of our past musicians and also past patients, one of the original patients of Hearts Need Art, who turned into one of our first musicians in residence. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So I met with Josh, who's up here in the corner, to talk about it. And I got so excited. I was like, we need to record these things and talk about this, because it's like a blend of arts and health. And then we're also doing some art by making a documentary about arts and health. And so I wanted to bring Cassie and Josh here to talk about it. It's going to be a little while before it's released, so we're going to have a big premiere. But I think this is a great opportunity to start talking about it. So we'll start with Josh, because he's up here for me. So if you want to introduce yourself and then tell everybody what you do, and then we'll go over to Cassie and do the same thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. My name is Josh Cavazos, and so yeah, I am a composer and producer here in San Antonio, and I had this idea several years ago to create a documentary based on Cassie's story, and I'm sure that she'll tell us a lot about what she's been through and everything. But I was just so blown away by her story and so moved by her story of healing that I just wanted to create something to be able to share what she's been through, and hopefully it'll inspire and give hope to others.
So what's your background?
Sure. So I'm a musician, a composer, pianist. I started off as a pianist and took lessons for a long time. I have a bachelor's in piano performance and a master's in composition, and I've always enjoyed composing, always enjoyed playing, and have always had a heart for storytelling too, to be able to bring stories to life with music, and to be able to support stories with music as well. And so, knowing Cassie's story and hearing about what she's walked through and what she's been through, even years ago, I just had the thought, like, gosh, it would be amazing to be able to help share this story of hope. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do with this documentary.
Great. Cassie.
Hello, I'm Cassie Martinez, and currently I am a music teacher, K through 8 music teacher in Los Angeles, California. And I met Josh when I was younger, going into high school, and I had quit piano in middle school. I was like, I'm done with this. But then I felt like it was calling me back. So, I went to sign up for piano lessons, and lo and behold, Josh Cavazos. Met with him. I think you were my piano teacher for like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched over to someone else. But yeah, so we've stayed friends for years, I guess, through mutual friends. Our parents are friends with some of your friends. And then in college, I was diagnosed with cancer, T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma, and in San Antonio, Texas. And, throughout that, I was like, lost strength enough to play piano, and it was like a very crazy time. I was senior in college at that point, and I was majoring in music education, so music, was still a big part of my story. And then in the hospital, I met Constanza Rader through the Hearts Need Art program, like right as it was getting off the ground, and they provided like art classes and like music inside your hospital room, and I think it really made all the difference in my treatment. And yeah, so thankfully, throughout that treatment, I received a lot of like cool gifts, but I think one of the most important or like most meaningful and unique was the song that Josh you wrote called Prayers for Cassie. And yeah, so thankfully after I did chemo in the hospital for about a year, and then I was able to go back to college. I finished my degree still on chemo, but it was like a lower dose form. And then thankfully did my student teaching, my senior recital, all that fun stuff. And by the grace of God, I survived that, and I survived cancer, and I've been in remission for, I think it's been 4 years since I've been done with treatment. So, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, but here I'm in Los Angeles now for a few years, and we'll see where our adventure takes us next. But that's where I am now.
How did it feel as a musician when you were in the hospital when someone walked in and said, "Hey, do you want music?" Were you completely shocked?
Yeah, kind of, because I was 21 when I was diagnosed. So, they put me on the adult floor, and they don't have anything for adults. And so, I hear this knock on my door, and here comes Stanzi rolling her little cart, and on her cart is a piano, and she's like, "Oh, I heard you play piano." I'm like, "Yep." And then she's like, "Do you want to play?" I'm like, "No, I'm too tired." But then she's like, "Oh, I can play something for you." And so I honestly don't remember what she played, but it not only made a difference in my treatment, but my family members are there right alongside you. So it also helped them get through it too.
And when did you decide after leaving, like, hey, maybe I want to be a part of Hearts Need Art?
Yeah, so I was actually in my last year of treatment. I just graduated college. So I still had a year left of like the low dose maintenance chemo. And, it just made such a difference in my life that I wanted to kind of give back. And so I met with the Hearts Need Art crew, and they're like, "Yeah, we want a musician in the outpatient clinic." And this is the same clinic where I received all my chemo, where I still receiving my chemo. And so one day a week, I would go for about 2 hours and play for all the people in the chemo bay. And sometimes I'd take requests or, just relaxing background music from like movies or Christian music. And it like playing piano is almost like therapeutic for me. So it meant a lot to be able to give back.
Do you remember anything that you heard from patients, or even like things that you would say after receiving music or art? Like, do you remember kind of what that felt like, or what people would tell you after you joined Hearts Need Art?
I mean, in the chemo clinic itself, some of the patients, like, they knew I was also a patient. And so they were like, "This is amazing, like seeing you like recover and like do this for us. It's been really helpful." And I made a few friends, through that, and I still in contact with a couple of them actually. But yeah, they would say it's very relaxing and it's better than watching the really bad TVs that they had for us there.
Do you remember any of your like most requested songs?
Oh,
I remember like you having to do like Christmas in July. I remember there were always
yes.
holiday songs requested, no matter the time of year.
Yeah, Jingle Bells or Silent Night. A lot of Christian music. So like 10,000 Reasons. How Great Is Our God. I got like Harry Potter music and Twilight music. I guess Twilight was popular back then still. From like some of the younger patients too.
That's so great. Okay, so Josh, you had talked about like you had always thought we should be making a documentary. Why now? How did this come about?
Yeah, so I, let's see, had written the piece Prayers for Cassie. I think it was about 2017 when there was a benefit concert for Cassie. And so that was kind of what started the initial idea of just wanting to support her through recovery. And then I think she had invited us to her end of chemo party. I think it was a couple years after that. And so I remember attending that and just hearing her story, seeing how she had put together like a slideshow of pictures of her journey, and there was some I think narration to that. I just thought, wow, this is amazing. Just number one, what an amazing story of healing, and number two, just how amazing would this be if this story could be kind of gotten out there a little bit in terms of being shared, and just for those who happen to be walking through a similar journey, and just how inspiring to hear how Cassie's gone through chemo for years and was able to make a full recovery. Just what an inspiring resource that would be to see online. And so hence the idea kind of started brewing in my head, and here we are several years later. I have kind of orchestrated the piece, and kind of had a working draft for some time now, but the thought of having her be able to tell her story and what that was like and the journey, and then to combine that with the piece to kind of make a mini documentary. I think that was kind of the full version of the brainstorm. But just I think it kind of came together little by little over the years.
And it's, I think when we talked before, you said it was going to take about a year to fully record and make and get ready. Can we talk a little bit about what the next year is going to look like in making a documentary?
Sure. So, yeah, it's basically a step-by-step process. And right now, what I've done is I have the piece recorded and orchestrated, and so that's going to help in our audio end. In terms of the documentary and the filming, that we're looking to have that take place next summer when Cassie's in San Antonio, and so the plan will be to have her be filmed. She'll be able to tell her story. She's graciously shared some B-roll footage with us and some a few pictures, and so we'd like to kind of have those edited in throughout her story as she's narrating, and then from that story, we would then on a separate date record the piano to add to the orchestration, and also record the cello. And from there, we would edit those two things together, the documentary with the live performance piece. And then one of the last steps would be me providing underscore to Cassie's narration. And so I'll do that here in my home studio, and we'll then have that mixed and edited together. So it's quite a process, but it's just a really fun one, and I think every step of the journey is just going to be a big victory in seeing it come together.
And then we'll have a big old premiere. We'll have a red carpet
Yes.
premiere for you, Cassie.
I will come, rain or
Okay.
shine.
Okay, good. Good. Cassie, when Josh reached out to you with this idea, what was your reaction?
Well, I think like the first time you kind of reached out about it was, I guess, near the end of my treatment, and a few months after, maybe. I was still in San Antonio, and at first I was like, really? Like, what? And then I was like, oh, am I really ready to like talk about this? Because I guess at that point, it's kind of like emotional to talk about. But, over the years, it's gotten like a little easier. And then, I messaged him back and was like, yeah, I'll do it. Going through the treatment, I also looked for things like that on like YouTube, or like stories of other people going through a treatment too. So I think in a way it can help someone else.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what are you hoping people receive from the documentary, but probably the same like connection, right? And
Yeah.
not feeling alone.
Exactly. Yeah, like not feeling alone is probably the biggest one.
Yeah. Are you how's that filming of are you like going to write a script to read, or are we gonna like I don't know,
what's
the
like
plan with that?
Yeah, Josh, what's the plan?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think kind of open for discussion in terms of just wanting it to be very genuine in the telling of the story, and not for it to feel or look forced in any way, but just a very open share, open positive, relaxed share in Cassie's story, and again, just to kind of add to what she was saying and strengthen that too. Just that's my hope as well, is that people who are undergoing a similar treatment, that they could find this resource online, that they can be strengthened by it, that they could find some hope in the journey.
And is there a way, or are there things that you're looking for help with, or is there a way to help support the documentary being made, or how, like, what do you need help with?
Sure. Well, I think in these initial stages here, as we're getting some of our early recordings done, I think just kind of getting awareness about the project out there right now. I again, just taking on the cause of cancer therapy and Cassie's amazing story. I think just sharing that. The news that this is a resource that's being created, and it's a resource that we're hoping is going to help many people. I think just kind of word of mouth and social media sharing, I think it could be a powerful tool for us. And I think when the time comes and it's all ready, just being able to help share that as well.
Cassie, what do you say to, or what did you say, or do you say to adults who think they're not creative enough or are scared to engage in the arts?
I think it's okay to be scared, but I mean, you're already going through cancer and facing the worst fear you could possibly face, and that art is feasible even if you don't think so. Music is feasible even if you don't think so. Even if you have literally the worst pitch and you can't match pitch, like, that's not the point. Like, I think the point is finding community and other people going through what you're going through, or even if your one thing isn't very in art, like your one picture is not pretty to your standards, like when you guys do like the big like mosaics with everyone creates something, and you put it all together, and then it is art. Like, your scribbles are art.
Yeah.
And so,
and your
yeah.
screeches are art as well. And
Yes.
you're pounding on a drum or just banging on a desk, right? Like,
Yes.
it's all part of it. Josh, do you have an answer for that, or why you have kind of taken down your route of creativity yourself and what that does for you?
Sure. I think it's I think a big part of who I am, and so being able to express creatively, I think is something that I just kind of innately want to do, need to do. It's a outlet for me, but it's I think that expression is just kind of who I am, and how I kind of walk the path in life. And so being able to do that, I think just helps to keep me balanced, helps to keep me grounded as I encounter all of life's the twists and turns. For me, it's that sense of normalcy. It's that provides that sense of balance for me. That expression and that being able to be creative and do things like this, bring Cassie's help to bring Cassie's story to the world is just, I think, part of that that need to just bring positive awareness, and helps to hopefully help others.
Do we have a name for it yet, or how do we come up with a name?
Sure. Yeah. So right now, I'm calling it Prayers for Cassie. Is the name of the documentary, as well as the piece. I think it just kind of encompasses that moment in time, and in the story. I think it's, to me, it says a lot, and hopefully will be able to help share that and to help tell that story as best we can.
Well, it premieres in 2024, so get ready, everyone. And we here at Hearts Need Art will also kind of keep everybody up to date on the progress of it too, because we're very excited that it's happening. So thank you, Josh, for putting it all together. Thank you, Cassie, for being you and being amazing. And thank you both for jumping on here and talking to me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to Arts for the Health of It. This episode is produced by Hearts Need Art, creative support for patients and caregivers. You can support the show and help others learn about the healing power of the arts by visiting heartsneedart.org. The views expressed on this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of Hearts Need Art, their staff, board members, or other affiliates. All content is created for informational purposes only. This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice or to diagnose and treat any health condition. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health professional with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because